Okay, talk to him. He can hear you.
Hi, hi there.
How you doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good. What's your name?
Uh, Clifton Mullins.
Okay, okay. What was your first name? I'm sorry.
I call
Clifton?
it Slick.
Yes, everybody calls me Slick.
Slick. Okay, okay. If you don't mind, I'll call you that. I'm just trying to
That's
figure out
fine.
what to call
That's
you.
fine.
All right.
Oh,
And
Anyway, talk to him, Slick. Kind of tell him. I was trying to tell him a little bit, but I wanted you to tell him because I don't know that much.
well, back when I was a teenager, uh, I was in a house that was downstairs, and it had a long hallway. It had rooms on both sides, and they had girls on both sides that were pregnant, and that's where they lived.
wow.
And when they had boys, they have a party in a big meeting room that was underground. And they would sacrifice the little boy males. And then if it was a female, then they kept the female girls and raised them to just keep breeding.
Oh, wow. And
And I was down there. Oh, gosh. I wish I could tell you exactly where it was at. I just can't remember it.
mhm.
It was off of Neely, Budley, but it was on the northwest side of town.
Okay.
Off northwest of Wadley or Neely, whichever one's the furthest one north. That's
Okay.
where I went. And, you
Yeah.
know, the next day, the law enforcement showed up at my dad's business. And they told me to never show back up there again. That was not a place for me to be.
Mhm.
And the officer that told me that was Driggs, Officer Driggs.
Greg's?
Yep.
Huh. I'm not familiar
He
with
was
that.
he was an like a first sergeant in the military. He wore military gloves, wore a flat top, just strictly military.
Uh-huh.
I'll never forget his name. And I was like, well, I'm never going to be back at that place, so what the hell were you doing there? He said, that's none of your business.
Mhm.
And I never darkened that pathway again, but I was there and seen all of that downstairs with my own two eyes.
That's just crazy. You know, see, I was telling Lena that one guy contacted me, and I've got a print screen showing this. He told me that when he's in high school, they were working at a home in on Bedford in Old Midland, and they found a trap hidden entrance. And he said they went down there, and there was they walked 2 or 3 miles. They said there was rooms, there was bedding, and and evidence that people had been down there recently or something. And he was coming towards my direction, and which I'm right here by the Home Depot, and then I tell you another woman come by my home one time. She's a neighbor, and I was recording her. She didn't know it, and she told me there was kids buried under her home, and she lives right down the street from me. And I sent that to law enforcement, and nothing happened. And I sent it to the press, law enforcement, nothing. And so what you're telling me, it's amazing, and horrific, but I've really heard and seen some amazing things myself.
Well, the man that recruited the women, or the girls, not women, they were young kids.
Mm-hmm.
They called him Papa Smurf. He drove a 67, 57 red convertible Corvette.
Okay.
I'll never forget that, no matter how long it takes.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, I kind of remember something like that. I just don't know.
He hung out at the Sonic and at Game Town.
Where the young girls would be.
That's correct.
Right.
And the girl I was seeing was Regina Snell.
Oh, okay. She's the one who took you down there.
Yes.
Okay. Another woman contacted me, her and her sister, and I got a print screen on this too. And she told me, she said that she had been to every oil show party there was from wherever, from 2008 to 2019 or something. And we were talking about specifically the 2010 oil show parties that I believe were held in the underground homes, with the underground home in my backyard. A friend of mine had told me about a young girl that was murdered at those parties because she refused to prostitute. And then I tried to get her to report that to the police like normal people do, and she was afraid and said high-level police were at the parties. Okay. So anyway, that's what this one woman contacts me, and she said, I was telling her, I said, yeah, they were drugging them every night at 11 o'clock, because Angie would put me on hold, she'd have to go get her pill, and then she'd come back on the phone, then fall asleep, be woken up by men in her bed, all this. And she says, yeah, that's true. And she told me, she says, yeah, she was like 15 to 16 at the time, and she told me, yeah, the men prefer the younger girls more than the older women. And I got a print screen of her telling me that at the oil show parties, but I kept her name anonymous because, I don't want somebody to kill her, and these are dangerous people. That's all there is to it. I know how dangerous they are, and
Yes.
But then her sister, I was talking to both of them, and her sister told me that she was over in Odessa, and it was at a motel or whatever, and she witnessed this murder that cops were doing the lookout for. The cops were involved in it was Odessa murder, and it says it just freaked her out and scared her to death because cops are sitting there, on a premeditated murder, and but. I've heard quite a few stuff. I don't know exactly. There's things I don't know. But there's a lot of things I do know, and I've been talking about it for 10 years.
Big people.
Huh?
Big people. Good Lord.
Well, I know for a fact where I was. I can't take you back to the house I was at, but I know that I walked in the front door of this house. We went into the house, and then we made a right or a left. And then we went to a room, and we went into the room, and there was an elevator. And we took the elevator downstairs, and we got downstairs. She showed me around, and there was like I want to call it an assembly hall, a place where 50, 60 people could sit down, and then they had a stage up on front, just like if it was at a church or something.
Uh-huh.
And that was where they done the sacrifice. And then we backed up, and then we went down this long hallway. This hallway was probably, it had to be at least 60 feet long, 70. It had rooms on both sides. I want to say there was like 10 rooms, 5 on each side. And each one of the rooms, the doors were open, and there was girls in every one of them. And she explained to me that, this one lives here, this one lives here. And then I said, well, why are these young girls living down there? And then she explained to me, well, how this works is, we're blessed to be here. And when we're here, if we have a girl, then we're super blessed, and we raise our children here. And it's for the performance that goes on here. And, later on, we went into that assembly hall, and they sacrificed that little baby. It was just born. And they done it right there on that table up in the very front. And, my hair curled on the back of my head, and I said, hey, girl, we got to get out of here. No, it's all right. It's all right. This is all legitimate and everything. And I was like, I don't know nothing legitimate about all this.
Right. Yeah.
We were like, now, and I went to a church with her, and I can't remember where it's at. I thought it was also Midland Drive.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was Midkiff. But the church had no windows. There was 0 windows in the church. We went up there, and I stayed in the pickup, and she went and talked to some people for a few minutes. But it was the oddest thing I ever seen because it was a church and it had 0 windows in it.
Right.
Uh,
Um,
it's still somewhere around there in Midland. I don't remember exactly where it was at. This was back in the 80s
uh-huh. See,
when all this was going on.
See, I was told a woman told me she worked on this project here at the house, and she said it was completed in 1987 with the budget of $7.35 million on permit. It was called the Safe House Project, and it was put in for the Bushes. Another woman told me that there was 4 3-bedroom underground homes costing over $1 million a piece, and they were having pedophile parties down there. Okay, so that's a whole separate woman, and but
that would be part of this Papa Smurf Satanic group.
Well, see, that's other people have. Even my lawyer mentioned Satanism, and I even posted about that on my Facebook recently. I asked, has anybody heard of this Satanist being connected with these underground tunnels and underground homes?
This Papa Smurf that I'm talking about. I don't know his name. That's all I ever knew him as is Papa Smurf. He drove a bright red convertible Corvette. It was either in the 50s or 60s. It was a beautiful Corvette. But it was just odd because he was in his 60s recruiting these young girls from Gametown, the space station, and the Sonic.
Wow. I know.
And I saw this with my own 2 eyes. I'm not making it up. I'm fucking 58 years old. I don't have a reason to make up nothing.
I don't. I don't even know how anybody could make up something like that, or even why they would. And but yeah, it does fit in with a lot of things I've been told, and but
And like I say, Officer Driggs came to my dad's shop, and him and another officer told me if I ever showed back up there again, I wouldn't make it. And I said, you know what? I didn't see nothing. I don't know nothing. And he said, that's the way I want it. I said, you ain't got to worry about me again, because I was scared to death when all that started taking place.
Yeah, like that's. I appreciate you.
Because the girl I was seeing, she dressed like she would come out of the Poison. That's how she dressed.
Like what?
She had on the movie Poison.
Okay, I don't remember it, but
Way back in the day. But that's how she dressed. She had on black Sestell heels, black leather pants, and all this weird looking makeup all over her face. And
okay, I got you that goth look.
Yes, of course, back then nobody called it goth.
Yeah, I don't even know if they call it that now or what. I'm old too. I'm not calling you old, but I'm almost 60. I'll be 60 this year, and and so it gives you an idea. That I've been around for a while, and but I appreciate you. Can I share what you told me?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.